What is environmental impact assessment? The United Nations Environment Programme defines environmental impact assessment as a tool used to identify the environmental, social, and economic impacts of a project prior to decision making. It aims to predict environmental impacts at an early stage in project planning and design, find ways and means to reduce adverse impacts, shape projects to suit the local environment, and present the predictions and options to decision makers. Environment Impact Assessment in India has been statutorily backed by Environment Protection Act of 1986, which contains various provisions on EIA methodology and process. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change had notified a new notification in 2006, which replaced the notification of 1994. The notification had made it mandatory for various projects such as mining, thermal power plants, river valley, infrastructure, and industries including very small electroplating or foundry units to get environmental clearance. However, unlike the EIA notification of 1994, the new legislation had put the onus of clearing projects on the state government depending on the size and capacity of the project. So how does environmental impact assessment work? Environmental impact assessment notification of 2006 had decentralized the environmental clearance projects by categorizing the developmental projects in two categories, that is category A and category B. Category A projects were to be appraised at national level by Impact Assessment Agency and the Expert Appraisal Committee, and category B projects were appraised at the state level by State Level Environment Impact Assessment Authority and State Level Expert Appraisal Committee. After 2006 notification, EIA cycle comprises of 4 stages: screening, scoping, public hearing, and appraisal. So, why is environmental impact assessment important? Environmental impact assessment links the environment with development for environmentally safe and sustainable development. Environmental impact assessment provides a cost-effective method to eliminate or minimize the adverse impacts of developmental projects. EIA enables the decision makers to analyze the effect of developmental activities on the environment well before the developmental project is implemented. Environmental impact assessment also encourages the adoption of mitigation strategies in the developmental plan, and EIA makes sure that developmental plan is environmentally sound and within the limits of capacity of assimilation and regeneration of the ecosystem. So, what is the current issue and why is it important for us? On March 12th, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change released this notification to replace the EIA notification of 2006. If approved, it will ease the process of obtaining environmental clearances for businesses. Public consultation will no longer be mandatory for several projects, including modernization of irrigation projects and widening of national highways. Importantly, the issue also legitimizes some actions that are currently categorized as violations, such as starting construction without a valid clearance. Additionally, it reduces the frequency of compliance reports required from project owners from once every 6 months to once every year. So, what is wrong in the new draft? Environment lawyer Ritvik Datta told Mongabi India that predominant thrust of the EIA notification 2020 is completely contrary to the principles of environmental protection. Instead of focusing on ensuring the protection of the environment, the draft EIA 2020 undermines the orders of the National Green Tribunal, which had ruled against post facto approvals. The purpose of this notification is to legitimize illegalities done by industries. It seems to be emphasizing that an industrial project that has violated environmental rules will have a right to seek approval for it as long as that project is permissible in the area. It is a mockery of law, Datta explained. In the environment clearance process, public consultation is an important component under which concerns of local affected persons and others who have a stake in the environmental impact of the project are ascertained with a view to appropriately take into account while designing the project. In the latest draft, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change proposes to expand the list of projects that do not need to seek public consultation before they seek environment clearance. The backbone of environment clearance rules is monitoring the conditions on which projects are cleared and ensuring compliance. But here the ministry is outrightly trusting the industries whose track record doesn't inspire much confidence. This proposed EIA notification has no focus on ensuring compliance and monitoring of projects while it heavily relies on self-certification by the industries, said Vikrant Tongaj, a UP-based conservationist.